Hi, I'm Lauren, and this is my dog, Forrest. We took a road trip from Toronto to Georgia, hiking long trails throughout the day and sleeping in our car overnight. Here's a recap of our trip, including how I worked from the road, how I set up my car for camping, and of course, all of the hikes we did along the way. On the first day, I started the drive super early and stopped at some Lake Superior beaches to let Forrest run around. Eventually, I pulled into a library parking lot to eat my lunch. We're having our first hatchback life meal, and it is not elaborate and it is kind of cheating, but I'm having leftover pad thai. Cue delicious pad thai, quick pic of the setup, and let's do an office tour. Okay, welcome to my home office. I'm just set up just outside the public library in Erie, and I'm going to be working here for the next few hours. I've moved from the front seat to the passenger seat for my office so that my laptop has space and it's not like hitting the wheel. We hit up a couple of beaches on the way here. Cheddar is asleep, having her nap, and the back of the car could definitely use some organization later, but for now, so far so good. The next couple of days were spent working from libraries, coffee shops, and parks while mixing in some short trails before and after work. We mostly had trails to ourselves, and Forrest did a really good job adjusting to life on the road, which was really nice. We both love a good water feature and a good snack on the trail, so definitely made sure to prioritize those. All right, and now it's time for some nighttime reflections from the car once we had it all set up to sleep. What's up, YouTube? You can't see a singular thing, which is great, because I'm lying in my car in my nighttime mode, and it's my second night sleeping in the car, stealth camping, and I've already learned a shit ton, lots of don'ts and a couple of do's. So yeah, I'm just here with Forrest, who is confused but mostly just figuring it out with me and being super good. And we're really excited for the weekend because we've got a couple of hikes, or lots of hikes that we're gonna do, which will be great because so far it's just been a lot of working, a lot of driving, and a lot of her asking me what the heck we're doing here. The next morning we had planned to do this epic hike with an amazing view, but the weather was trash and I was pretty bummed. So after feeling pretty sorry for myself, I decided to do it anyway, and honestly it was so much fun. It was really soggy and really humid, but we had the whole trail to ourselves and definitely made the most out of it. Then it was time for a late lunch in the parking lot. Obviously it was very important to share. And we hung out there for a little bit longer before driving into town and finding a dog-friendly brewery for beers and some live music. It's a pretty good day all around, and we slept ridiculously well that night to get up extra early the next morning. I kept costs to a minimum by cooking all of my meals, well, most of them anyway, sleeping in the car, and sticking to free activities like hiking. I didn't spend much to set up my car for camping, and the biggest expense by far was the gas. We woke up pretty early the next morning to fill up and head out to the Appalachians for another long day in the woods. On this day, we hiked a big chunk of the Appalachian Trail. Obviously, we found some more water features. Very cool.
ran into a few other people, and generally just enjoyed the sunshine, even though the air was quite crispy. Check it out. These are the real life Blue Ridge Mountains. Anyway, eventually we got back to the car in time for a giant snack. And now it's time to do a tour of the car.
Okay, so we just finished our hike, and I thought it'd be a good time to give you a tour of my crib. All right, here is what the inside of the car looks like right now. It's somewhat organized, but again, if I was doing this long term, there's so many things that I would do differently. Anyway, I've got all my clothes here, got my cooler right here, and this should be more level so that I can actually sleep on it better. But anyway, cooler there. I've got this battery thing. Anyway, power station. It usually lives like right on top of this. But this is sort of tech. So this is my laptop and etc. All that good stuff. Oh dear. There we go. Yeah, so that's my tech stuff. We've got a sheet I got from Value Village for, I believe it was $3.49. And this is just to keep forest hair mostly out of things. Obviously it gets everywhere anyway, but just try to minimize the dirt. Over there, I've got the rest of my kitchen, i.e. my dry food. So salt, tea, chips, etc. In another milk crate here, I've got all of forest shit. And then in the milk crate at the back, I've got the rest of my camp kitchen. Oh my god, hair everywhere. Yeah, the rest of my camp kitchen, which is like my stove, knives. I don't know, to be honest, I haven't used a lot of that at all. And then in the back here is really haphazardly all of my sleeping stuff. So sleeping mat ×2, which has been really helpful. A full-size pillow because of the luxury. And then this is my curtain that I sort of pull out every night for privacy. And then this is an extra thermarest that I had originally wanted to use for myself under here, but my window cover doesn't really stay up on the back, and so I actually have to use this thermarest to prop up the window cover at the back. But anyway, that's what that is. Okay, continuing the tour. We have my socks from today drying here. And my little camp chair, you can see it, stool thing. In the back is everything that I showed you before, but you can just see the other side of it, so all of my sleeping stuff. And then coming around here to the side, I have yet another milk crate under there with a whole bunch of like miscellaneous just in case items. So I've got an extra towel, duct tape, scissors. I don't know, I also haven't even opened that up yet either. But that's what's under there. Oh, and last thing I should show you is that when we're just hanging out, I just attached Forrest to the car using her leashes. So there's one of these things here, there's one on the trunk. I mean, anywhere there's a door, there's one of those hooks, so it works out really well. Hi, Bean.
After our big hike, we headed back to town to find another brewery for pets from strangers, beers, and music. This band was super good. I've been listening to one of their songs on repeat since this trip, which I'll link somewhere. And now back to the car for some nighttime musings.
All right, I'm not sure if you can see that little bit of light, but oh, what's up, Forrest? Hi buddy. But that little bit of light right up there is all of the light that you can see coming in from the car. So I put my curtains up. I had to make some adjustments. If I was doing this long term, the one thing I would absolutely invest in is some sort of better system for this window covering situation, because this curtain is working, but it's a bit of a hassle and it's not super secure. And yeah, It definitely works for my purposes, but definitely not a good long-term solution. Yeah. So anyway, here with Forrest. You can't even see her, but she's being super cute, and she's being a really good little spoon. And yeah, hopefully we can both get a good night's sleep so we can do some good hiking tomorrow.
The last big hike of this trip reminded me a lot of Ontario. There were dense forests, rivers, lots of giant logs, and no amazing views, but it was overall a really enjoyable trail. After one last water feature, we got back in the car and headed home to Toronto. Overall, I'd say this trip was a smashing success. Good job, nice stick, Forrest.